Am I always this naked, you may ask? Well, of course not. But I do prefer to tell the naked truth. You see, I like it juicy, raw, and uncensored. The truth, that is. So you may wonder, why do I sing? And that's funny. Some people would say to me in my DM, hey, why do you sing? You sound terrible. Or you sound immature, you should take classes. Or why do you sing? You won't get anywhere. And it's funny the length the people will take to message you unsolicited to tell you what they think about what you do in your personal life that has nothing to do with them. I am very grateful that I love myself and I like myself so much that I do not care what anyone thinks about my music or my art, unless, of course, if they're gonna give me some constructive feedback. But feedback that are destructive, saying I'm bad or this and that doesn't tell you anything how to improve, I don't care for. And why do I sing? Because why should I not sing? God gave me voice, didn't He? Or the universe, whatever you believe in. So therefore, I don't need anyone's permission to sing. Example, you sing in the shower, or you sing while you're doing your chores, and we hum and we sing and we clap our hands, we whistle, and why not? Do we need to ask permission to do those things? And why do we need people's validations in order to do those things? You can ask yourself that question. And I am here to inspire you. If you had the same similar situation where you wanted to sing and you felt like you weren't good enough, says who? Said the people outside of you? Okay. Do you think so as well? If you think so as well, okay, fine. You can take classes, you can improve. However, if you do not want to improve, if you don't feel like you need to, and you can sing anyway, I say go for it. Because guess what? I am singing. I will not take anyone's negative feedback or saying, oh, you can't sing, your voice is terrible. Why? I work hard and pay for my own singing equipments. I work hard to get a producer. And I work hard with my time and money, sweat and tears, and fighting procrastination to do this. So will I go and get people's validation? No. Of course someone might say, wow, you're on YouTube and you're on Instagram and Facebook and yada yada, and to get validation. Yes, as a human being, yes, we don't need validation, or we don't need to be seen in this or that. You could say need or want, however, it's just a human thing to do something and say, hey, show and tell. However, if that show and tell breaks you or makes you because of other people's validation, then you need to look deep down inside of you to ask the question, as previous episode, who are you? Is who you are based on people's validation of you? Is who you are will based off people, will that make your character, will that make your emotions or not? My favorite guru, one of my favorite guru, Wayne Dyer, I love him so much. Thank you, Wayne Dyer. He says, not exactly quoting, he says something like, first of all, he said, do not die with the song still remains inside of you. And it's not only about singing, it's about a lot of things, which means your art and what you aspire to be in life, to do as well. Also, another quote of him, he says something like, do not shine or be happy with the good opinions of others. Meaning that if others give you their good opinion and you're like about it, okay, fine, but do not let that be who you are. Do not let that be the reason you do something. Because the same people, or different people, usually the same people, who will clap you today will ask for your heads tomorrow. So if someone's clapping you today and you're like about it, and if they say, oh, what you did sucked, are you gonna hang yourself? Or are you gonna be depressed because they didn't validate you that week or that day? So therefore, you have to know who you are and your purpose of why you do something and your goal. So, why do I sing? I sing because I've always wanted to sing. I've sing because I want to sing, and why not? I sing because it makes me happy. I sing because I love writing lyrics. I love writing poems. I love writing novels altogether. I have made books, people. Get ready for my books and my stories. So, primarily, I started singing January or February 2021. Because in August, which will be part of my podcast about this story, in August 2020, I fell in love, or you could call it, I fell in trauma bond with someone unexpectedly. And it was hard on me. And as many people you could say that had one-hit albums or they had a great singing career, is because someone broke their heart. And it's very powerful. And it was sad, but I am very grateful about anything that happens in life, because if I'm going to cry about it, of course crying is fine, there's nothing wrong crying, but however, if I'm going to cry about it all my life and be in sorrow, then I will not see the bigger picture of the growth. So singing had helped me in a therapeutic way, and it also had brought joy. So let's talk about the songs that I've sung. The first song that I've sung and wrote was Real Eyes. And all the music that I've made and all the song that I've sung or lyrics that I've written, they're all my favorites. However, my most favorite today is the 6th of October, but I will post this next week probably. And my wonderful friend Ibrahim Shopath, which he is my producer, we dropped the song last week on, today's what, Monday? No, today's not Monday, today's Tuesday. I don't remember, on Friday, let's say, we dropped it, and I made the video for it, and it's my most favorite song thus far. The song is called Trauma Bond, based on my experience. But my favorite, another favorite of my, Trauma Bond is my number one favorite so far. Another favorite of mine is Real Eyes. So it goes real eyes, real eyes, real eyes. So what I'll do is I will play the song for you, then I'll come back. Realize, realize, realize. Realize, realize, realize. All you gotta do is see it. Trust your gut and believe it. Then you know you'll be right. You have intuition, use it. The universe speaks through it. Meditate and you'll get through this. Be in touch and you'll sync with it. The partner eye is your true eye. All you gotta do is try. All you gotta do is trust. All you gotta do is tap into the power that you once have lost. All you gotta do is know. All you gotta do is show. All you gotta do is show up and be ready for what you must know. All you gotta do is choose. All you gotta do is have faith. All you gotta do is call on the power that will strengthen your faith. All you gotta do is smile. All you gotta do is pray. All you gotta know is that intuition is God speaking back to you. Realize, realize, realize. Realize, realize, realize. All you gotta do is see it. Trust your gut and believe it. Then you know you'll be right. Trust your heart and you'll do great things. The universe speaks through it. Your heart never lies. Be in touch and you'll stick with it. Let the world know that you are divine. All you gotta do is ask. All you gotta do is give. All you gotta do is tap into the source that's within you. All you gotta do is stand. All you gotta do is reach. All you gotta do is reach out to someone else who is seeking. All you gotta do is act. All you gotta do is change. All you gotta do is get rid of doubt and insecurities that you face. All you gotta know that you are divine. All you gotta know that you are loved. All you gotta know that you're equipped with the most powerful lie detector of all. Realize, realize, realize. Realize, realize. Second side. So as the song goes, realize, realize, realize. Realize, realize, realize. All you gotta do is see it. Trust your gut and believe it. Then you know you'll be right. You have intuition, use it. The universe sees through it. Meditate and you'll get through this. Be in touch and you'll sync with it. The pie in your eye is your true eye. You know how the song goes. So are you hearing and reading those lyrics? So I wrote the song because through my relationship I had, you could call it a relationship or not, and the person watching this, if he's watching this, he might say, hey, I was not in a relationship with you. But anyway, our perception of life, right? So I was in a relationship with this person who, by the way, lived in the same apartment with me from August till when he left, basically in June. But he didn't live here 2 months prior to June. So let's say April or May was the last time I kind of saw him. But we broke up since August, and we were in a narcissistic, toxic relationship. Actually, I wrote the song in February. So yeah, so earlier on in the month that followed, I wrote the song. However, the melody came to me through my dreams. I often dream a lot of melodies and and storylines and TV shows, etc., that just come in my head. So I either will write it down or I will say it in audio. So I had the melody prior to that, but then the lyrics came in. So I said, oh, I'm gonna write a song that says real eyes, realize, realize. And of course those words were probably written from somebody before, of course. But the whole lyrics is original and the melody is original. Beside my producer Ibrahim Showpath, we collaborated together to make it a better song for you to hear. Hope you like it. And so a theme of mine as well, most year that I've had have a theme. And one of the theme of 2016, I believe, was intuition for me. And by the way, 2020 theme for me is no shame, no judgments, no guilt. For me and for others. I think there's a fourth, but that's the primary three. So anyway, so year of intuition. So I had intuition of what the guy, who the guy chooses to be and what he does based on what he tells me about his past and how he behaves around me and what he says and what he talks about. Like Maya Angelou says, when someone tells you who you are, listen. So people will show you by their character and what they say and how they treat others. And I saw it. So I saw it and I had intuition and I knew what I was getting into. However, I wanted to experiment something, which I did not experiment. I experimented not fully, but I wanted to experiment fully 100% with this guy. I say, how about if I get involved with this person and be 100% give him unconditional love? Dude. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having goosebumps and it's like coming back. I give this person unconditional love. And I was ready and willing to do that. Why? Because I was at a point where I had unconditional love for myself. And you know when they say you don't know how it is until you cross that bridge. Talk can be talk, but walk your talk, like they say. And talk is BS. And so when I was able to give him unconditional love, is because I give myself unconditional love. However said, later on, when I stayed in the unhealthy relationship, I was not loving myself, I can say. And which proof that anything that you do, you need to keep doing it. You need to keep loving yourself. You need to keep working on your character. You need to do anything every day. Just like if you're an a-hole, that's an everyday thing that you're doing. And if you one day you wake up and you say, I'm tired of being an a-hole, that's a progression of stop being an a-hole. So anything is progression, and anything that you do or I do is an everyday thing. Just like brushing your teeth or taking showers or eating. You can stop, of course, but eventually you need to keep going. And so it's the same as character building. So my real eyes, intuition, and my third eye, realize the real lies of this person. And also, I wrote the song for me as well. And I'm not one to gossip or bashing people. I would just tell the facts. And I may talk about a perceived character trait of a person. However, I do believe that who someone is beside their character, which is tangible that we can see. However, who someone is to their core is their spirit, and that's pure love, period. And that's who I am, and that's how I believe everyone is. Like Mother Teresa would say, when someone asks her, how do you treat people so well? She responded, because I see Jesus in everyone. I see everyone as Jesus. So therefore I see everyone as pure, beautiful light. Even there's a lady, if you're watching this, or my coworkers, if they're watching this, they know who I'm talking about. Again, I do not like to give people bad character. However, it's just facts how she treats me. She bullies me, she harasses me, and I do forgive me, I do not see her as a good or kind person. And I think she probably suffering. Definitely she's suffering, because if she was happy, she would treat other people happy. Well, so even with her, when I work with her, I respect her. If you're watching this, I respect you. Although you have not earned the respect, I do respect you. And I do not believe that respect need to be earned. I do believe that every being on this planet, especially alive, is deserving of respect, kindness, empathy, compassion, and love. That's my decision. It's what I believe in, and I'm sticking to it. It's your prerogative if you believe differently and want to do differently. And as much as I would like to label her as terrible, I do not treat her terribly, and I do not think of her terribly. If anything, I feel pity and sadness, but even then, that's part of ego, and I don't want to have that. So I just basically want to have blank, because thinking about her is not the greatest, because she doesn't treat me well, and I'm very glad and grateful that I do not give her fire that she gives me. So I'm very grateful for that, of my character. So yeah, so this is why I sing realize, realize, realize. We need to practice our intuition. We need to not second guess our intuition. I read a quote that says, intuition doesn't need rhyme and reason. If you feel it in your gut, do it. And you may not know why, but you will know why at hindsight. You will know why later. And knowing why is not your business. Just do it. Just do it. Endorse me? Something. I don't know. And so, in my guru, Dr. Wayne Dyer, he also said that prayer or meditation is you speaking to God, if you believe in God or in the universe, whatever. And by the way, none of this stuff is spiritual or religious. It's just life, people. It's just life. I don't really like using the word spiritual, but I'll use it for talking pointers. But it's just life. If you're really looking at it, it's just life. So, but Dr. Wayne Dyer would say, prayer is you talking to God, and intuition is God speaking back to you. Oh God, it feels so good. So this is why I wrote Realize. So the second song that I wrote is In Your Heart. And I probably wrote changes as well, but I think produced was In Your Heart. So I wrote In Your Heart because the person that I was in love with, and he may say, I was not in love with you, that's fine. I was in love with him. But I know, even if he may decline that, the second part, we had trauma bond. And even he denies it or not, we had trauma bond. He might deny him being in love with me, that I do not know, and I cannot attest for him. But we had trauma bond. So the second song I wrote was In Your Heart, is because it goes, even when you are alone, even when you are amongst your best friends, in your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, or even when you are around the people that you haven't made friends yet, in your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, always do your best. Always love yourself. I don't remember all the lyrics and I sung the song. But Here's the song, you can hear it now. Even when you are alone, even when you are amongst the best friends, in your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, or even when you are around the people that you haven't made friends yet, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, always be yourself. Always do your best. Always love yourself. Strive for clarity. There is never a need for having shame, fear, or guilt. There is never a need for having judgments for yourself or for others. In your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, even when you tend to feel alone. It is never the case. You have energy, nature, animals, family, and friends, and strangers, yes, they are there. You must muster the strength and collect yourself. The universe is within you and without you. Everyone you meet is you, part of you, and is an extension of you. Knowing that will give you the comfort to love, to share love, and be loved in your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, even when you tend to feel alone. It is never the case. If you actually close your eyes, take a deep breath, you'll feel everyone's heart beating. Hence, you'll breathe with them, because we are all the same. In your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, always be yourself, always do your best, always love yourself, always be confident. There is never a need for having pride, jealousy, or resent. There is never a need for having judgments for yourself or for others. In your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, in your heart, in your heart, in your mind, yes, in your soul, in your soul. Yeah, so in your heart, basically I wrote it for me, of course, and for him. So basically I'm saying that even when you're around others, even when you're alone, always love yourself, always do your best, always be confident, always thrive for clarity. Although my other guru, Sadhguru, Namaskaram, he would say thrive for clarity instead of confidence. And you can watch his videos and go on his podcast he's a life changer for me, and I'm very grateful for Sadhguru. Hey Sadhguru. And so I also invite you to follow him if you wish, because he has helped me a lot in my journey, in my growth journey. So he talks about how belief, he's not a fan of belief and confidence, although those are words that we can use. However, clarity is better, as he mentioned. So that's what In Your Heart talks about, to have clarity, to be in your heart, and to not let others shake you. So basically the songs that I sing is for me and my ex-lover. And as much as I feel like he brought me to hell and back, he also brought me to paradise, and I cannot badmouth him at all. And I think it's because I am very grateful and blessed, and I am blessed for the situation. Although the situation was very hard on me. I experienced depression for the very first time in my life. And I used to not understand depression. And as I say again, once you cross that bridge, you know. So once you walk a mile in my shoes, Brittany says, yeah, emotions are coming up again. I'm very grateful for you if you're watching this. And I know hurt people. And I know that it was also my fault being in the relationship with you. Although relationships for Westerners is all about sex or intimacy or being in closer proximity, relationship is anything with anybody, any living being. So that's the word, relationship. And no, we did not have intercourse, but we had an intimate relationship. And again, it was an experiment for me to see how far I could go. And it was beautiful, and I was in paradise, and I was grateful. And having a heart broken with rejection later on was really hard, of course, with anybody. And I grew a lot because of that. I had to practice things that I was yapping about within myself and to others. So I had to put them into action. And I'm glad that I overcame. And I think it totally helped a lot that he moved out of the apartment, because then I don't have to see him, and I didn't have his energy around me anymore. And it was good because then I could have closure and overcome the hurt, because he tells me good stuff, but his actions spoke differently. So he would tell me of love, but his action was not of love. Which reminds me of one of my favorite songs that says, Mon mec à moi, il me parle d'aventure. Et quand il plie dans sa jeu, je pourrais passer la nuit. Il parle d'amour comme tu parles des voitures. Et moi je suis cool tu veux, tellement je crois que tu vis. I killed the song right there. But it's by Patricia Cass. If you know that song, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you know Patricia Cass, hey Patricia Cass, if you're watching this, holla at your boy. You're my favorite. And that song is my favorite as well. Yeah. So In Your Heart. Anyway, let's move on. So I wrote Changes. I wrote Changes. Again, the melodies were from my dreams prior to 2020. And I wrote Changes because the person that we were in love with, that we had a relationship with, I said we, that person. So he and I, and his psychiatrist, he was saying, diagnosed him with bipolar and borderline personality and narcissism, and amongst other things, depression, etc. But I think and I believe that all these diagnoses, they either real or not. I feel that he wanted reasons to be certain things, so he could excuse why he behaved the way he behaved. But that's another story. And not a judgment or condemnation, condemn him. It's just, conversation and talking. And by the way, we had this conversation, he and I. And so I wrote changes because one time he came to me to tell me, hey, I think you resent me and you're giving me bad vibe, etc. So he was making up stories in his head. So he love bombed me, like, I forget her name, Dr. Ramani. I love her and I watch her on YouTube a lot, and she talks about how narcissists will love bomb you, and then they'll reject you because either they have rejection issues where they have to reject you first before you reject them. So that's what he would do. And it was crazy. We had a crazy relationship. And so when he was saying, hey, I think, so he would love bomb me and reject me, not talking to me while in the apartment, but then giving me settled hints that he still wants to be with me. And then I was in love, or I was in trauma bond, and I let that happen almost with my experiment as well. And so when he told me that, I was like, wait a minute, those things are not what I'm feeling exactly. So we usually talk for hours. So we spoke for like 3 hours and a half, just so I can make him feel better. And then I realized, after I watched a lot of videos from Dr. Ramani, I was like, wait a minute, this guy is doing narcissistic stuff and he's trailing me along. And I was letting him because I was crazy, like crazy and ridiculous. But I experienced it this one time in my life. Like they say, hashtag never again. We'll see. But I'm determined to learn that and get that experience and that experiment and never again hashtag. So I think in changes goes like, when you're kind, you can change a lot. When you're loving, it will change a lot. Be more present, be more grateful, and in truth, you will change a lot. Something. I don't even remember right now. But when you're kind, it can change a lot. When you're loving, it will change a lot. Be more present, be more patient, and in truth you will change a lot. Be more grateful, be forgiving, and this will change a lot. Being charitable changes a lot. Being thoughtful will change a lot. A compassionate heart definitely brings out the beauty and change a lot. Accepting of other things definitely change a lot. When you find things you love and smile about, definitely change a lot. Come with me to a place where you will find love and acceptance. Whoever you are, whatever you've done, you'll be redeemed with unconditional love. All you need is your belief of self-worth. Accept yourself and love what is. When you're kind, it can change your life. When you're loving, it will change your life. Be more present, be more patient, and in truth you will change your life. Be more grateful, be forgiven, and this will change your life. Being charitable changes your life. Being thoughtful will change your life. A compassionate heart definitely brings out the beauty and changes your life. Accepting of all great things definitely change your life. When you find things to laugh and smile about. Definitely changes your perspective on life. So basically the song is about to remind myself, when you're kind, when you're loving, when you're this, do not have judgment, do not have shame, do not have guilt, resentment, and do not for yourself and for others. So that's what the song is about, because he inspired me to write the song. And as anyone who texts with me knows that my signature in my text message is love, peace, zen. Because, short story, I had this signature in my phone because I was in a relationship with a boyfriend of mine that we also lived together, and he would often want to argue on text messages even when he's in the same house instead of talking to me. So I fell into the trap of arguing and have ego fights. And then one day I woke up, I was like, no, this is not who I am. I am a loving person. I am a very peaceful person. And I am zen, and I'm calm. And I will not get into ego tips. So I put love, peace, zen in my signature. For those of you who may have asked, so there's a reason why. To check myself. If I feel any ego, so that's like an ego check. If I feel any way that I want to badmouth someone, gossip, or say anything ill about somebody or to someone, through text messages especially, is checking myself to not do those things. And I'm grateful that it's like a practice, a mantra. And hopefully to inspire that person who's reading it to also be love, peace, and zen. But that's their prerogative. If they don't want to, they don't have to. Because I know I've texted some people and then they come back at me with hate words, and that was their prerogative. But my prerogative is to always be love, peace, and zen. And so this is why I wrote Changes. And my fourth song that dropped a week ago, October 1st, is Trauma Bond, my favorite songs thus far. First of all, nice to meet you. Have you had enough? Bewitched, I fell for you. I gave you my heart. I truly thought this would last forever. You're the one, blinded by love. No, this is trauma bond. Lost in deep in your blue eyes. Can't figure out which is sea, which is sky. Finally being on dry land with you, only to find myself all alone. It's like quicksand with you. When I think that I'm safe, it's only a mirage. Why be afraid of the purest form of love that you asked me for? Here we go, we promised to never part, but in the end you did it again. And this time I'm such a fool, holding you like a lost child, desperate for lost love. Both of us are anticipating the end of it. What are we doing? And when will this end? Is this disdain? I can't help to love unconditionally. Maybe more than your mama. I love you so that I lost myself in you, only to find her dead and within you. Can't seem to get out of this hurt. We cry all night. We're both insane, you know? Crazy, in love, or insane. Trauma bond. My relationship I had with the person, and I will not name names, but for context, I call him Rilo. I love the name Rilo. And that was my nickname for him, but no one knows that I called him Rilo. So only him who's watching this, without name, he would know anyway. And me calling him Rilo, he would know. And that's fine. I'm not judging anybody. It's just what happened. And so trauma bond is about our relationship, part of our relationship. What happened, and basically crying about it. And again, there you go. So this is why I sing. I've sung in some musical theater in the past. And of course I sing in shows. But now I'm doing my own project. This is 2020. Thank you, 2020. And that's my own personal life. And of course 2020 may have been bad for you. But for me, if I choose, life is what you make it. I could have said 2020 is bad for me as well, but I choose for 2020 to be awesome and good for me. And I'm very grateful for 2020. It brought so much growth and blessing onto me. Although those growth and blessing could seem like for other people as terrible things that happen. But I do not see life that way. And that's my prerogative.